Good evening, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Expressions by I-PHA. It's our second show here, and it's a talk show that is dedicated to expressing views and ideas on varied subjects related to housekeeping and all that housekeepers would love to hear in the personal and professional sphere. We are doing a women's special this month, we celebrated the Women's Day, and we have corporate leaders with us today here who are going to express their hospitality experiences. We have our very own Sonia Mittal, founder and chairperson I-PHA India, with us. We also have Jagvinder Pinni Man, corporate real estate leader, Microsoft India. We also have on our panel Amrita Pandey, senior vice president and group HR Tenon Group. I now leave the floor to these three dynamic ladies in their field. Over to you, Sonia ma'am.
Myself, Sonia Mittal. Everybody knows me. Most of the people on the panel know me. I'm a hotelier by profession and currently heading the housekeeping operations pan India for Inox Leisure Limited. That is the India's leading multiplex. I would like to quote something that I heard a few days ago. Some women choose to follow others, and some choose to follow their own dreams. So this is something that I have always been, believing about myself. Besides being a passionate housekeeper, I'm a fan of music, travel, interior designing, and quite a big fan of innovations. I have focused on developing my career within the hospitality industry and try to reach my goal excelling in housekeeping. Having started off with Taj, which is basically my which has always been my base, and I always am very proud about it. I believe in one thing that once your base is strong, you'll be able to carry it out. You'll be able to survive in any industry that you wish to, and this is what has happened to me, moving from the hotels to the retail to the cinema industry. So in the current portfolio from hotel to the cinema, I have it's been quite a transition for me, and we follow the basic pillars of quality, service culture, and brand, and filter the same with our team. Believe me, the role has been quite an experience, and it's an absolutely learning experience. Every day is a challenge, and I absolutely love what I do. You know.
And I think this is what we want to bring about, that housekeeping is just not housekeeping. I think we all need to that housekeeping is a multifaceted skill and talent, and how does it bring. And I sort of say to everybody who I meet is, in fact, anyone aspiring to choose services as a career should begin with the hotels. And why do I say that? I say that because it's a bedrock of learning, experiencing live, your guest, your customer, learning from them, learning from the diversity that your guests bring in the hospitality. What is it the guest wants? And why do we exist? Why does the hospitality industry exist? Or why do we think that it's such a fabulous career to have? Is because the first note that goes out to the guest as a welcome is always is the first impression, as I say. And then you have your airport pickups, and then you have your guest arrival, and then you sort of take them to the journey of their day as planned. Now, each of those elements during that day are so important. And it's the hospitality industry that brings forward that energy with, you're sort of engaging your front office, the way they engage with the guest, the way the person is escorted to the room, how good the room is. It's not only an expensive 7-star, 5-star hotel always. It's a simple experience of warmth, of welcoming, and, the passion that you can sort of really show. And then the journey from there of how you're making the person comfortable. If it's business, how productive they will be on that day. So I always say, hospitality is the backbone of productivity. It's great, Sonia, you shared your Taj journey, and I started my career with Taj too. And it was such a great experience, which I sort of cherish till date, and I share it with everybody that I can. And that's why I advocate. I think hotel industry is the learning base for everybody. And then you can pan out, to the side that you want. I will quote and go back to what I said. What you learn as your base in the hotel is valid for life, because those are the skills that, really take you forward.
Hi, good evening, ladies. Good evening, everyone who's there on this call right now. I will quickly start with an introduction of myself. My name is Amrita Pandey. I am currently the Group HR head with a company called Tenon Group. We are into the space of providing security services, housekeeping and facility management services, and e-surveillance services across India, UK and Singapore. And that's how, that is my connect, with the hospitality and with the, that's how I got to be on this panel. Tenon Group, the security and the housekeeping put together, we employ around 80,000 workers, 80,000 employees across India. We are largely in India, but also in UK and Singapore, but those are smaller populations. So when I heard 80,000, I mean, that was, I said, I have to take this up as a challenge because, I've never managed such a large workforce. This, the so-called blue-collared workforce, the ones who are actually on the ground doing stuff, not sitting in AC offices like us. I mean, we get all this thing that you're sitting in your cabin in an office and, just working on call or on meetings, but the real workers who are there, whether it's the security guards or the housekeeping staff, so I grabbed the opportunity. Because, here the experience that I'm getting, one is of course our corporate workforce, which is how it is anywhere else. But then the workforce that we have on the field, the security guards, the housekeeping staff, the front office thing, the escort guards that we have in, the BPO cabs, etc., etc. Now when I'm at a mall or even, with the security guards in my society, I mean, I connect with them in a very different manner, because I know their side of the story as well.
When you moved on from that hospitality, that comfort zone, as Pinny put it, we all love that comfort zone, and you move into a corporate where you have so many properties to manage. I'm sure it must be so exciting and challenging. Sonia, can we have you up here?
Yes, Mohana, it was a 360-degree change for me, moving on from the hotel comfort zone of, having your on-roll employees and then going on to managing. We have 157 units across 69 cities, and 69 cities, and we're still going strong. We've got around, top 5 agencies, and believe me, Mohana, it is tough. I mean, I absolutely understand what Amrita, as an HR must be going through, because for her it's a challenge, because they've got customers like Inox, who keep on putting on a lot of pressure when it comes to the quality of the staff, when it comes to the grooming. I mean,
Sure, the focus was on hotels, and as Pinny had mentioned, the first thing that attracted her to go into hotels was she was going to meet somebody like Ratan Tata and get interviewed there. The excitement of hotels has got so much of glamour in it.
There's a lot of glamour that comes with the hotels, and also with the cinema industry, also with the malls. I mean, everybody, it's like how you present, because earlier, Mona, the cinema industry was only going to one particular a cinema or two-screener cinema. Right now, when you walk into a multiplex, I mean, it's as good as a 5-star hotel. I mean, so obviously, when it comes to the upkeeping of the property, the quality of the staff that we take on board is it's as good as a hotel staff. I mean, so when it comes to the training, when it comes to the presentation, when it comes to the overall look and feel of the property, we need that kind of quality people. We need that kind of supervision. We need that kind of administrative staff on board. So it's as equivalent to be working in a hotel.
Absolutely. I think even Penny, if you go to see, she's talking about making it safe and clean for the people who are coming in, but you are probably managing the entire corporate estate for all the stuff and plus the facilities. I'm sure that must be another round of challenge for you.
Yeah, Mona. And of course, Sonia's alluded to, the base, the housekeeping, and how that plays such a role. But I think in the corporate real estate, the opportunities are different, and you've got to hone on those skills also, because you are actually, it's you're working with different layers. So your facility management, as I say, is the backbone. If that's not functioning well, really, the space is no good. It's as why does anyone want to come to work? Then it comes into architecture and the interiors and your design and your concept. So you're working with this mammoth, string of people who are going to build your space, and every company has their own guidelines and processes to follow. And before that, you're interacting with the business leaders, looking at the economy, looking at where the growth is happening. How is it going to, what is your space going to do to that? I always say we are a very important piece in the puzzle. We shouldn't ever negate our services as it's a service. I always say it's a key component for success for a business. If our services are not really up to the mark, and you're not providing a space which is conducive to be 100% productive for, say, engineer who's coming in and writing a code, if his mind gets upset with if the coffee is not good, or he can't smell the flowers, or the restroom's not up to the mark, well, the day's gone and you've lost valuable intellectual time that you should be getting. So I start at the base. I always say, the workforce, they need to be actually, really pushed to take pride in their work. They need to be motivated. They need to be passionate about what they're doing. It could be a security guard. It could be your gardener. It could be the housekeeping boy. It could be your chef, your kitchen staff. If they are not excited of what they're doing, or they're not taking pride in it, there is a gap. That's where I always fear that, then the service is not coming up to the, as I call it, exceed expectations. We need to exceed expectations. And that's, I think, one bar which needs to move up a lot, because in the hotels also there is a set precedence of how the standards. All of us need to play a huge role in motivating, in bringing this skill set up to the, understanding that it's a very important service. I'm very proud of my skills of housekeeping, and I actually sometimes tell my janitorial teams and all how to clean, and they're quite astonished.
Let's bounce. Let's have all the speakers on the screen here. Let's talk to Amrita. When you're talking of women, you're talking of 80,000 workforce. How many are women in that?
So out of 80,000, I think around 20% is the women staff in the housekeeping fraternity. I would say that is still low. There is a lot of scope. What I, as an HR head, my agenda is that in next couple of years, we need to, we need to double this to around, 40% of the workforce should ideally be the female workforce. And why so? Because I think hospitality and facility management is one aspect wherein I would say, women have that, we were talking about it, that eye for detail, that basic, sense towards, towards those aesthetics. I think women have that. So we need to definitely, make it more exciting for them. One of my strategies, one of the things that we are using is that we are hiring more women in our middle and senior management positions also. Because, when you see it's a company wherein, you have so many female leaders across levels, I think that makes it more motivating for anybody to join this industry. And I think the digital transformation that we are currently seeing, not just in hospitality or tourism or anywhere, it is across. But then in terms of facility management, I was speaking to my business teams also the other day. There is a lot of digitization. There is a lot of use of technology which is happening now. So gone are the days wherein, we were saying that, there are certain things in housekeeping or FM which only men can do. Now, a lot of these, let's say, heavy machinery, we call it hard FM service. the generators or the mechanical heavy equipment and all. It used to be, male driven kind of a thing, but now with technology driving all of it, I think women have an equal chance. I mean, if you're good, if you are a techie, if you can get the basic, technical know-how and understanding, you can operate those machineries as well. So I think as far as the women workforce is concerned, I see huge potential. My personal agenda is to double the workforce in the next couple of years, and that's what we are working.
It's just that when you come talk about housekeeping, there are certain basic skills that go along with it. I mean, that's what you learn in your hotel schools, and housekeeping definitely is not one of the choice. The first choice of all the hotel school students. I mean, they want to go in for food and beverage, they want to go in for kitchen, they want to go for sales jobs. So whatever is left behind is something that is people who don't get into any other industry, probably they get into housekeeping. So I think we need to change the perspective of the people. We need to promote it with the hotel schools. We want to give opportunities to female students to come and join housekeeping, and not look at it as a just because it didn't get into another department, they shouldn't be coming into housekeeping. So this has to be taken at a different level. Probably take it up with the schools. Maybe bigger companies should also pitch in, and have a different.
So I think I'm agreeing with Sonia that it needs to be it's grassroots. We need to get there. Really start pitching. Also, I think the mindset is very different. The minute you say housekeeping, it goes to that connotation of just cleaning. You're a cleaner, and there's no value in it. And I keep on saying it. It's such a difficult job. And if you're a housekeeper, I actually want to give you a star, because you are actually doing something which is really enhancing the whole capability of people, space, and your productivity. And I think that mindset needs to change with people. They still think, that it's a broom job. It's just a cleaner's job. In a hotel, it's, I don't like to make beds. All of us want our work to be acknowledged. All of us want to be sort of comforted that, it's a great job that you've done. I feel, are we not doing enough? Maybe rewards, enhancing a reward. Then also the career path. There's no clear career path of growth for a beginner. Say we hire a young girl from an IHM. What is the career path we are showing? The graph is never shown. I think those are some of the key components we need to all collectively start thinking and show. And then, it's all of us. We all want to grow. We all want to be leaders. We all want to be in the CEO's chair one day. What is the journey? What are the steps that are required? So what are the trainings? What are the leadership skills? What are the managerial skills? I think more time needs to be invested in this industry.
What HR needs to do, to show that growth path. What is that growth path you will define, Amrita?
Yeah, I think, as Pinny ma'am said, we hire them at the junior most level, but then, that career path needs to be well defined. So, for example, at Tenon, what we had done, we actually started this just before COVID, but then it couldn't take off for a couple of years. So what we are doing now, in fact, we've just launched it last week. We've created a program wherein, we are picking we are seeking nominations from our regional teams for the best of their staff as far as the security guards and supervisors, and similarly the housekeeping staff and the supervisory staff is concerned. From the field, we are asking them to send nominations. They will go through an assessment program, and then they will be put on a 1-month training here at our corporate training office here in Gurgaon. and after a month they will be evaluated. So this training would be, they'll go through a proper induction and training and orientation program, followed by a couple of weeks of on-the-job training. Post which, what we are expecting is that out of these, let's say out of a batch of 30, 40, we would pick up, the 25, 30 who clear, and they would be taken in the managerial roles, in our organization, because we have that requirement of, staff officers across levels. So whether it is in the regions, as area officers, as supervisors, as operations manager, as supervisors in our facility management team, in our technology team, in our command center team, so those opportunities are there. So the ones who clear that assessment will move on to this, and then they will get into a career path, which will take them high up the ladder.
Mohana, we have a different structure because we have our outsourced employees, obviously. It becomes a different, it's a different kind of a way we handle with them, because the agencies basically make a career path for them. But for our on-roll employees, we definitely have a career path with Inox. And we have increased the numbers very recently. We sort of trying to have more female employees on roll, and I think there's no stopping. They can become a GM, they can become an AVP, they can reach to whatever level they can, and depending on their capacity, depending on their experiences. We have quite a few leaders, and I'm glad that I'm part of Inox, and they've given me an opportunity to grow up the ladder and prove myself and handle the department, and I'm really proud Inoxian at this point of time.
We all should take a pledge on what we can contribute to this industry, where service industry as such is the future. I think we all know, we have faced it during COVID times. They are the ones who took the forefront. They were the ones who made sure that we are safe. They were the ones who did risk their life. Many of them lost their lives. Many of them lost their loved ones. But service is the future. It's internationally, it has been told that the service industry is going to, take over all other industries and be a leading, corporate sector, you can call it. But are we all ready? Are the women who could be the best in this profession, who could, take the most top positions in this field, are they ready? And what we as women sitting in this, in this discussion about women in the corporate world can contribute? Can we talk about just doing one thing that we can, contribute to this industry? I will start with Pinny.
Yeah, difficult and a good question. So difficult from the perspective that I think taking a pledge and oath is the easiest thing to do. How do we really ensure that impact in implementation goes all the way? So I think start small, take baby steps, get people around you to first understand. And how do we then multiply it from 1 to 2 to 2 to 4 and, move that forward? I think the first hit is it's not just a menial cleaning job. Yes. It's the backbone of any function. And if that just resonates with a lot of people, I think it's a way to go.
Wonderful. Sonia?
For me, Mohana, it would be being connected very closely with I-PHA and with Clean India, and obviously even with the hotel schools. Priya's, being very closely working with hotel schools. So we can, as an I-PHA team, take it up with the hotel schools, try to, do a bit from our part, bringing some kind of enlightenment with the hotel schools, telling them that it's beyond housekeeping now. It's not only about being a janitor or being, starting from the baseline. There's much more. Besides hotels, there's a lot of facilities, there's a corporate, there's a Microsoft, there's a Tinol, there's an Inox here, which we're always looking for them, and waiting to groom them and take them to the next level, And I'm sure Priya is going to be a part of this journey with.
Thank you so much, ladies. It has been a pleasure to have all of you here. said so many things in a small nutshell. Amrita started it off with such an emotional journey, how she, moved on from different industries and finally into the cleaning industry. Maybe I could have heard, the entire people would have heard more from Penny ma'am. We were speaking the other day. Absolutely, an emotional journey that you spoke about. And at the end of it, wow, we all pledge here that we have more, students or professionals taking up housekeeping as a career choice. So as I-PHA, we feel wonderful when we, hear that, and we have more ladies coming into the profession, is what we all pledge here. And on that note, I say a thank you to all of you.